₦800 billion subsidy removal palliative, an avenue to steal money, Sam Amadi says. And that is true. This APC government that has just barely 6 weeks to leave office or thereabout, they want to borrow 800 billion naira and they want to share among the most suffering Nigerians, and they're already listing and compiling names of people that they will share the money to. Okay, and without the public see the criteria they want to use in determining who should benefit from that money and the criteria they will use in sharing the money. Okay, so Sam Amadi is saying here that this is an avenue to steal money. And exactly what Sam Amadi is saying is the mind of all Nigerians. If you ask even a primary school child in Nigeria today about this money, he will tell you that this government is using the last chance in office to do everything to create projects that they will use to steal. Just like they said they want to go on a printing new Naira notes. At the end of the day, where did that project end? It's an avenue. There was an avenue to also steal, because at the end of the day, that project is becoming useless. Right now, those new Naira notes are not even in circulation. We are falling back again back to the old Naira note like we were before the election. So what job have we done now? Meanwhile, they'll spend billions of naira to print billions of naira. At a point, Nigerians were using naira to buy naira to have access to money. The same way they have come again now, they want to share 800 billion. So if you are removing subsidy, is it borrowing 800 billion to share that will cushion the effect of the subsidy, or making sure that there is refinery working, making sure the economy is boosted in a way that whatever anybody is doing, no matter how small, can make profit and make a living? Just do projects that even the smallest person in the country can have his own space in the system. They are sharing money the same way they went about N-Power, the same way they went about traders' money. This APC government was sharing of money. In those days, when PDP was in power for 16 years, we thought PDP is a party where they share money. But right now, APC, everything PDP did, APC has beaten it, has done them more than 300%. More than 300%. This is very, very bad and unacceptable. So the same thing Sam Amadi is saying here, and nobody should come for Sam Amadi, because I know that some people will come for him now. What he's saying is exactly the mind of every Nigerian about this money they want to borrow. It's an avenue, last minute stealing, last minute looting and embezzlement before they leave office. That is what I say in all of these projects that do not add value to the society. Okay. The director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, Dr. Sam Amadi, has questioned the logic behind sharing 800 billion naira to the poor who receive only 5,000 naira monthly as a poverty reduction strategy. Amadi said it doesn't make any sense, but rather an avenue to embezzle public finance, and that is true. His statement is contained in a post via his Twitter handle on Monday. Daily Post records that the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed that the country had secured a World Bank facility worth $800 million. According to her, the $800 million is the first tranche of palliatives to be disbursed through cash transfers to about 50 million Nigerians who belong to the most vulnerable category in the society, ahead of the planned subsidy removal. Can you imagine? Meanwhile, Amadi said someone might be planning to have a monetized send-off for herself, allegedly referring to an unnamed government official, and that is true. He wrote, "Why do you want to share 800 billion naira to the poor who receive 5,000 as a poverty reduction strategy? Is that a sensible palliative for multiple impacts of subsidy removal? Is someone planning to have a monetized send-off for herself? There is no logic here but to embezzle public funds, and that is the honest truth. There's no logic in it. It's to embezzle funds, okay? Because the impact of fuel subsidy removal is not only in the financial part of it, money that goes into the bank or salary or benefit. We're talking about how does it affect transportation? How does it affect electricity? How does it affect security? How does it affect medical facility, that is healthcare? How does it affect marine activities? How does it affect the politics? How does it affect social life? That's what we're talking about here. So now when you give the downtrodden or the most vulnerable 5,000 naira each, how long will that 5,000 naira last for them? That is the question. How long will 5,000 naira last for them? Okay, first of all, the minimum wage that they declared at federal level and at state level, they've not been paid. Most states are not even able to pay salary to workers. Okay, so what are you going to do? Pensioners are not paid. You are not talking about all of that. You want to share for 5,000 naira. This is about the third version, in fact, the fourth version of it. This APC government started with traders' money. After traders' money, they came with N-Power. After N-Power, they came with school feeding of school children in the north. Now they're coming with sharing of 800 billion naira, 5,000 naira to each Nigerian for about 50 million vulnerable Nigerians. What is the criteria for determining the vulnerable Nigerians? If you want to go by the true statistics, don't you think that over 150 million Nigerians are vulnerable? So it is not just going to be only the 50 million Nigerians that you're estimating that will be vulnerable. Almost all Nigerians today are vulnerable, both the rich and the poor. Apart from the political class, apart from the ruling class, the rest Nigerians are vulnerable. So how are you going to help that? How are you going to do that? I don't understand. It's just an avenue to steal money, just like Sam Amadi is saying. It's an avenue to steal money. That is the truth. Now look at what some people are saying here. Some say Buhari government that was using millions to feed school children while they were at home on lockdown. That is true, criminal. They said they were feeding school children. Meanwhile, those school children were at home. They were not going to school. Some that went to school were learning under trees. They didn't even have school building. Some that were in school buildings, the school buildings did not have roofs. Some had dilapidated roofs and were leaking. Rain was beating children in the class. Okay, you didn't deem it fit to rebuild the school buildings. You didn't deem it fit to build new school compounds for children. You didn't deem it fit to pay the teachers, but you deemed it fit to feed children under the tree. These people, their brain works from behind. I tell you the truth. Their brain works from behind. Somebody say billions, not millions. Yes, 800 billion. Convert $800 million to naira and tell me what it is. This government should be taken to court. The sharing must be stopped by court. This is where we missed Chief Gani Fahimi. Those that were with him then are now lawyers to corrupt politicians. That is the truth. The World Bank trusted Buhari's government, hence they released the fund. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, those global organizations are always putting third world countries indebted. They're always looking for a way to keep the third world countries subdued and suppressed and making the third world countries to continue to owe them for life. That is it. They don't have interests of third world countries at heart. That is it. They don't have it. Unfortunately, the African leadership, the government of the African nation don't even understand this because of their selfish interests that are beclouded by their selfish interest and what they have to gain. That is it. And that is very, very bad. Somebody say your problem is that you are blindfolded by tribalism. Even when truths are spoken, you want to know what tribe is the person saying. Now, wow. This is terribly, very bad. This is terribly, very bad. Okay? Another is trust like the fox. You mean trust? The money did not reach the less privileged, rather reach the elite. That is true. Just like when they brought COVID-19 palliatives, rather than sharing it to the people, they stocked them in warehouses right in swamps and in bushes. Okay, where over 90% of the items even got expired in those dilapidated warehouses without any effective preservation. Meanwhile, I think the plan was to use it for campaign during the election, because what they would have done was to repackage it and then use them as election campaign materials. But when they discovered it, when people discovered it, broke into the place and looted it, they rather started arresting the people that went to take their share from it. That is how bad it is in this country. Eh? Somebody's asking, what are they good for? Okay, if not stealing, they are world-renowned thieves. That is true. Nigeria is almost number one in the world now for stealing. Eh? They are never tired of stealing. Okay, they love money, so they can't stop. That is it. So we know that what is happening here is that they are stealing. Somebody say the salami. It is an euphemism for last-minute public embezzlement. It carried an odious malfeasance. Who is fooling who, really? Really? And that is true. Stealing so much. Eh? Stealing so much. Stealing so much. Somebody's right here. So, the Suleiman Abiola Salami is writing here. Nigerians do not need false palliative, but functional refineries. Enough is enough of daylight robbery. Alhaji Suleiman Akambi Abiola Salami, author of 2 books on good governance. Yeah, that is true. Enough is enough of stealing. Enough is enough of stealing. Somebody say, Mr. Amadi, you are 100% correct. Even a child in the womb knows that, including the so-called census. You can imagine while on their way out. How can you bring out all these projects when you just have about 5 to 6 weeks in office? But right now, what they're supposed to be doing is wrapping up documentation and handover process, and they're determining, preparing their handover notes and all their handover documentations and everything. That's what they should be doing now, and not creating projects that they can't complete before they leave office. It's quite unfortunate. So the summary of this is that, sharing 800 billion naira to cushion the effect of subsidy removal is just an avenue for last-minute stealing and last-minute financial embezzlement from the coffers of the government.